They're in almost every garden feeder in Britain and across most of Europe. Most people can spot one in half a second. Blue cap, yellow belly, black-eyed stripe. But behind that familiar little bird is one of the most studied and most surprising songbirds in the world. Scientists have spent decades on blue tits, so this is 5 things you probably didn't know about the blue tit. Some of these will change the way you look at them on your bird feeder. Their nest can hold more eggs than you actually believe. Blue tits lay some of the largest clutches of any songbird. A typical clutch runs around 8 to 12 eggs, but a nest with 14, 15 or even 16 have been recorded. And it's not just random timing. The female synchronises egg laying so that chicks hatch right when caterpillars are at their peak abundance, giving her enormous brood the best possible food supply. One pair, one nest, over a dozen mouths to feed, all timed like clockwork. Blue tits are basically tiny gymnasts. If you watch a blue tit forage for more than just a few seconds, you'll see it hanging upside down from the thinnest twigs, picking insects off leaf buds most other birds can't reach. They'll also climb tree trunks in short hopping bursts, almost mimicking a tree creeper, just to access foods other species pass by. The acrobatic foraging style is a big part of why they thrive in gardens with feeders. They can attack a fat ball or nut feeder from angles a bigger bird simply cannot manage. Here's a fact that absolutely blows my mind. Blue tits can see in the ultraviolet range, a part of the light spectrum that's invisible to us humans. And their blue crown feathers actually reflect UV light strongly. That means when 2 blue tits look at each other, they're seeing a glow on top of each other's heads that we simply cannot see. Researchers have shown that this matters for real decisions. Females tend to prefer males with brighter UV crowns, and in experiments where scientists dulled the UV reflectance, it changed how birds were chosen as mates. There's even evidence that females adjust the sex ratio of their chicks depending on how UV bright the partner's crown is. To a blue tit, the everyday blue cap is basically a billboard we cannot read. The average blue tit doesn't make past its first couple of years. Predation, disease, and hard winters take a heavy toll, especially on first-year birds. But ringing records tell a different story at the extreme end. Individuals have been recorded living past 10 years, with one exceptional bird reaching over 12 years old. Out of millions of blue tits ringed in Britain and Ireland since the early 1900s, only a tiny fraction have ever reached double digits. But it happens, it's a classic. Live fast, songbird strategy. Breed young, breed big, and hope for a bit of luck. This fact is generally one of the most famous stories in bird behaviour research. Back when milk was delivered in glass bottles with full caps, blue tits, as well as grey tits in Britain, worked out how to pierce the foil and drink the cream that floated on top. The behaviour spread through local populations. A textbook example of birds learning from watching each other. It was widely recorded from the 20s through to the 80s, fading out as home milk delivery declined and semi-skim milk became the norm. For decades, it was cited as one of the clearest examples of cultural transmission. Essentially, a bird culture in a wild animal. So the next time a blue tit lands on your feeder, it's not just a common little blue and yellow bird, it's an ultraviolet seeing, cream thief descended, gymnastic performance survivor that scientists have been studying for over 80 years.